Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. This week, I'm actually on vacation, so we're going to be a little bit more lax with the gameplay. I've got a few pre-recorded gameplay videos for you guys. I've got a few discussion videos pre-recorded for you guys that I'm going to upload throughout the week. I've also got a few guest uploads, so definitely stay tuned for those. We've got Eggman on the channel, and we've got Adrian from No Counters No Combos on the channel, so definitely stay tuned for them. They're awesome. I've also got a few guest uploads on the Patreon as well. So, with that being said, this is a gameplay video. This is two more fun decks for sure. Clash of Fates Goku and Bardock's crew. But at the same time, you know, I built both the decks and they're built to be as competitive as possible. This is the Bardock's crew deck that I won locals with, that I wrote about on the Patreon, so you guys will be able to see, you know, how it plays and kind of how the build works and whatnot. So with that being said, guys, before we get into this video, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you stay up to date with all the awesome Dragon Ball Super content we post here. If you're looking for a Dragon Ball Super community, check out the Discord in the description below. Amazing group of people. And finally, guys, if you like the channel or want to read up on more competitive content, definitely check out the Patreon in the description below. That stuff's all there. And with that being said, we'll get into this. So I'm on the right playing Mono Blue Bardock's crew, and my friend Ryan is on the left playing Clash of Fates Blue Green Goku. I think Blue Green's the best build for that deck because just Mono Green, like, unless it's kind of like androids, it just doesn't have access to enough kind of, you know, enough things, I guess you can say. I really value access to Senzu Bean for offensive plays, especially when this deck plays Feet Kamehameha. That really actually helps on defense. Essentially it's a 2-card 20k combo, one of which saves 5k for the entire turn. So we're gonna see a little bit of gameplay here with that. Yeah, I do think that the blue green is definitely better than just mono green, but so my hand's pretty solid so far. I've got a Fascia, which is a good turn 1 play, grabs me basically another 5k combo or any crew piece, and I opened 3 Fascias. Holy crap, that's a lot of Fascias. But the number one thing you want to see in the opening hand is the Tora. The Tora that goes into your Final Strike Bardock is the number one thing you want to see in your hand for sure. So my opening hand is off to a good start. Looks like Ryan has a Krillin, which he's gonna charge because there's a couple turns off. But that is definitely something you want to see in his opening hand. I don't know if he had an extra one or not. So I charge one of the Fascias. Now I attack first here because I just want to see my options, right? Usually, if I already have the Tor in my hand, I'd rather play down the and Ryan showed you guys what he drew off his life. If I already have if I already have all my pieces in my hand, if I have my Tor in my hand, I'd rather just play down a Borgos for a guaranteed draw and not really take the chance of whiffing on Fascia. Plus, there are just good cards in the deck you want to hit off Borgos rather than Fascia anyway, because Fascia can't search like your super combos or your negates, things like that. So glad I already had the Tor in my hand. Now I can just play Borgos, get a guaranteed draw, and since he does play blue-green, I can prevent him from kind of going offensive with Senzu Bean and whatnot until he pops the Borgos, which his deck can do pretty readily. So he's going to do like similar thing here. He's going to burst 2, ditch 1, draw 2. That's his second Krillin in the discard. It's pretty, he must have multiple. But yeah, so he's doing the same thing. Checking out his options first, looking at his options. His leader gives him more options than my leader does, which is pretty solid. You know, his leader is a ditch 1, draw 2, and he's gonna drop down his own Borgos, draw a card. Looks like he doesn't have the Gohan in his hand. The Gohan would be the ideal turn 2 play there. So I draw into one of my Final Strike Bardocks. I charge it because there are multiple in the deck. I play 3 in the deck, and your Tora can fetch it from the deck, so you don't really care about charging 1 early. You know, if the other 2 were in my life, that would be very unfortunate, and I would definitely not. Fate would not be on my corner to win this game, so I'll take a chance charging 1 early. So Tora comes down as a 2-drop because I do have another crew in the graveyard, which reduces the cost by 1. This way, my curve is pretty much perfect going forward. I do have to watch out because my deck does have barrier stuff, but his deck is one of the only ones that can really pop anything ignoring barrier. So I do have to be mindful of that when I'm trying to, you know, go in for game and things and whatnot, things like that. So Ryan looking for what to charge here. Looks like he's not concerned with awakening this turn. Again, just more options, and that's not a problem. Like, when your leader cycles that much, that is definitely not an issue to just see more cards. Definitely not an issue in my opinion. He's gonna ditch a negate. Not very worried about me going aggro. Don't really blame him. I'll take the damage, easy peasy. Oh, so he does have multiple of the hyperspeed Goku, so it looks like he is going to aim to awaken this turn. Get a big tempo turn, get some crit damage in there. And he finally draws into the Gohan. That's pretty late at this point, to be honest. It's kind of unfortunate that it is that late. He's going to go 2 green standing up. He's going to go in with a 30k crit while I'm tapped out. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's gonna connect 9 times out of 10. Could have negated it, but it would have just been like a pseudo crit anyway. I just would have cycled the negate out for a new card essentially. But I'd rather negate his bigger attacks, to be honest. Plus, I know what the deck plays. He plays the big 6-drop Goku that lets him combo with green cards from his drop area. So yeah. Ryan giving the Final Strike Bardock a read over. That boy is coming out next turn, as long as those other two are not in my life, which would be very, very unlikely. One thing that annoys me about one thing that annoys me about the Bardock deck is that I never mill the Final Strike Bardock off my leader, which just like would give me some, you know, type of safety net essentially. Like, okay, one's in the drop area, Tora can get it from the drop area, so we're good to go. And that never tends to happen. It's just like an annoying little thing I have with the deck. Deck's still great, treats me great. I went a lot with it at locals. It's really fun. I really enjoy playing the deck. How many times can you abuse Final Strike Bardock and whatnot? That's always a fun question to ask. Really, really fun. He's going to combo the Borgos away. Pretty solid that my leader is still a threat even though I'm unawakened. Just made him waste a card, which is pretty cool. He's going to combo out of that as well. Going to sack the Tora to go into the Bardock. Give a quick look through the rest of my deck. See what I got going on in there. So Bardock's swinging in. Ryan's debating on defending. Now this is an instance where I would probably just take the damage and go to 3 because I know the Bardock's Crew archetype really doesn't have access to a triple strike, so I would just take an extra card there, but a lot of people are more comfortable playing at 4, which I don't blame them, so there is that fact. Yeah, it's more of a preference thing than anything else, realistically. He's going to charge the Gohan here. That card's pretty much dead for him unless he's swinging for like chip damage. He does finally have the Gohan online, so now his Krillins will come in for cheaper. And this is going to be a really awkward situation because I'm going to have, you know, a barrier beater on the board that I really want to live, but his deck inherently answers that beater. And if he drops a blocker on the board, like the Krillin blocker or the Deadly Defender, which I have to swing through anyway, it's essentially going to guaranteed answer my guy. But yeah, he's going to swing at my Bardock on the board. I'm just going to negate it just to get myself ready to awaken and restand 2 energy for defense. I want to get that combo to play Gohan onto the board just for tempo. I want to be able to, you know, start building somewhat of a board just so I can beat back over his stuff. Ryan's still debating on the play. He does have the option to drop the Krillin, pop my Borgos, but he can also just go Deadly Defender, draw the card. I think drawing the card would be better here, just because the Borgos isn't really a threat per se. And the seeing a new card would be really, really nice, but I'm going to combo the Gohan into play when he swings at my leader. And that's the one thing about Ryan's playstyle. He likes to go straight at face. He likes to swing at the leader a lot. He's not really too concerned about my battle card, which I can't blame him for that. Also because he is he does have the answer to my battle card basically in his hand. Kind of unfortunate that I did drop that combo to play Gohan when he did have the Krillin blocker to pop it. That kind of solidified his decision. You can see that he was struggling to decide between Deadly Defender and the Krillin, but. And at the end of it, it was pretty obvious to just drop the Krillin that pops the guy, because I did drop a threat into the board. I like the fact that he left that blue there. That's the Bardock effect resolving. They put a card at the bottom of his deck. I like the fact that Ryan left the blue up here because, you know, he does have access to Senzu Bean. If he needs to, he can you know, tap the blue for Senzu Bean and then restand 2 green. That'll give him access to Preemptive Strike. So I do really, really like that line of play there. So I'm going Bardock in. I don't really have a better way to bait the Krillin, to be honest. But what I do have is, I believe, another Tora in my hand. So I'm just going to drop another Bardock here after this is all over. So he's going to bring his Goku into play. He's pretty hyped. But I am going to drop the Tora again. Just try and, you know, push damage through. And then I'm going to drop the Bardock again anyway. Sorry guys, I wish I did a better job of signaling where I was attacking. I'm not sure if I'm attacking the leader here or the Goku here. Looks like he's gonna negate it no matter what. Pop the Borgos. Flip my leader over. 4 energy ready to go. Tap 3 to bring out another Bardock. Yeah, so that looks like that's one of the things I talk about a lot on the channel and like on the Patreon as well, is like there are really bad matchups and they're kind of like abysmal situations, but this is a pretty, I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back here. That was a pretty good way to play out of a bad situation. He had the answer to my boss monster, which I really, you know, was afraid of, didn't want him to have, but you know, playing it this way, I was able to get out of that situation, which is pretty cool. So here I am gonna attack the hyperspeed Goku, pimp slap and freeze in the face Goku, just to try and clear pressure off the board. Let's see what he does here. Let's see if he combos out of it. This could be a decent instance to value board presence over hand presence, although he is starting to run low on cards in hand. He's only at 5. I think I have like 7 or 8 there. He is in a sense of being it, so he does value that board presence here. Not a whole lot I can do with 1 energy in this deck. The plays are pretty linear. He's also going to combo the Gohan away as well. Kind of unnecessary at this point. He's going to be going on to his 5 energy turn, so if he drops Krillin, he'll still have energy floating for defense. I am going to go Bardock into the Goku. He's going to super combo out of it. We're discussing some nonsense here. Yeah, I think we're talking about my leader effect. I can just negate attacks, but it has to be attacking my leader, not my battle cards. Another Gohan down in charge. He does have a Shenron in his hand, which I think would be a pretty good play here. And my Borgos is clear, so he could untap energy. He could give his leader crit for double strike. He has a lot of things he could do here, but I'm not sure quite what the rest of his hand looks like. With 4 cards in hand, doesn't look like he has too much else going on. Unless it's like another Krillin, another Goku, but I can't really make it out from here. So he isn't a crit a Shugesh off my life. Yeah, Shugesh is like the Bardock's definitely the premier card of the deck. The Shugesh just serves as like another alternative win condition. Like if your opponent's at 2 life, you can just swing, give it double strike, and go in like that. It's 3 energy play. The deck doesn't have a whole lot of inherent double strike. I kind of want to tech Champa in somewhere in the deck, but I'm not sure where yet. There are a few 10k combos in the deck. I believe right now there are 6, maybe 7. 3 Bardocks, 3 combo to play Gohans. I don't think there's anything else. There are a bunch, not a bunch. There's 3 Tora armbands that are dead in terms of comboing. I think I'm gonna cut that card down to 2 though, because it did clog my hand a lot in the past locals I went to with it. But here I'm not seeing it, which would be great if I see it next turn. So we are gonna go Senzu Bean on the leader here, 20k. We're gonna go double Senzu Bean, just really force him to waste cards if he wants to push damage through. Yeah, I think that point Ryan was digging for a new card to play with, but he did. You know, I did not want to go down to 2 life. Yeah, so he's gonna drop the Shenron there. He's gonna restand 2. Solid play. See a new card. Goku's gonna go in at leader. I am afraid of him having the EX Evolve Goku here, but it doesn't look like he has it, which is kind of unfortunate. I do crit myself to negate the attack. I really don't want to let that go to combos. I don't think I have too many super combos in my hand to defend out of it. I just want to make it to the next turn and go in for game. So yeah, the Bardock effect will resolve, and you can see that's starting to really impact his hand. He'll only have 3 cards to play defense with now. 4 if you count the Shenron in active mode there. So leader's going to go at leader. Already a 20k attacker, which is insane. I draw a super combo, which is super clutch there. He's debating what he wants to do. He does have a Feet Kamehameha in his hand, which is a 15k combo. He is in a super combo though. Get out of it, draw a new card. Gonna go 35k at the leader. I figured that forced him to take a damage. That's either his I knew in the game, but right now that's either his 3rd or 4th super combo. So I know he's pretty much out of good defensive plays. And I'm going to draw 4 cards off of this Tora armband, which is nuts. My Bardock's going to be at 35k double strike. And I just drew a crap ton of cards, which is absolutely nuts. My hand's pretty stacked for defense if it gets that far. I'm going to go 35k double strike in at lead. Start combo and everything. 45, 55, 65, 75. Yeah, and that's gonna be right there. He did draw into it. I believe it was just off the super combo. We're talking about it a little bit. I told him I was a little scared of it, but I think he just drew into it off of that last super combo. But yeah, not quite enough to get the job done. I said this in the Patreon article that I did for this deck, the Bardock's crew deck. If you resolve Armband, you really should win that game. Like you should really win that game just based off the hand advantage alone. And if your opponent's at 2 life and they don't have a negate, you should win that game. And even if they survive the turn, just that hand parity, you should win the game. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay video. 2 more kind of lower tier decks. The Clash of Fates Goku deck I think is still pretty strong too. Very powerful. A lot of cycling with the leader. Bardock's crew, very fun, very powerful. I like it in all the meta matchups I play with it. You know, Shenron Gogeta is a tough one, but there are things you can sideboard to kind of mitigate that. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below. I'm really interested to read them. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. You actually sat through all of that and made it to the end? I don't know how you did it, but now that you're here, you might as well hit the subscribe button that's right above me, or maybe check out some of these other videos. I don't know, and I guess we'll see you in the next one. I really don't know how you did it, but good on you.